Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a tarot reading for the full moon in Gemini, which is happening, if you're on the East Coast, it's happening pretty much at midnight on December 19th. So from 18th to 19th, it's that night. I believe it's a Sunday. And so we have a week to prepare for it. I want to look into what we have been manifesting, what is at its zenith, at its pinnacle, and what it is that we need releasing as well. Because this is an eclipse, the nodes are involved, which means that there's a lot of pressure for us to let go of what just really doesn't serve us anymore. And I know that's something that so many people say, and it feels like a cliche, but it's really important to recognize what you've been holding on to that you don't really need to be holding on to anymore. And so this full moon in Gemini, Sag Sun, Gemini Moon, is all about releasing those old beliefs that don't serve you anymore too. We have Uranus still in Taurus, which is all about breaking that convention, breaking that tradition, sudden changes in the way that we show our values. And then we also have Venus conjunct Pluto, which if you don't know about what Venus is doing right now, this day is also when Venus goes retrograde. If you want to know about Venus retrograde, please check out my last video. I did a tarot reading for Venus retrograde. And if you're interested in like daily astrology updates, you can follow me at mimis.me on Instagram. I post daily updates about the astrology and how we can deal with it, what we might be feeling, maybe just validating some of those feelings that we're all having of overwhelm. So what we have going on is Venus conjunct Pluto, and this basically is showing us that we need to reassess what we value and reassess our relationship to the things that we deal with on a daily basis, right? Money, work, our love lives, our friendships, our core values. It's really important to align yourself with what you value most. And every decision you make, hello Leo, every decision you make is aligned with those values that you hold very dear to your heart. So we're going to be doing a tarot reading. I have your 3 piles here. I do want to say that I am going to be doing another giveaway, and it's for 1,000 subscribers. You guys really helped me out. You helped me reach past 300 with my last giveaway. I think I'm at like 400 something, which for me is a really big deal. And I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing you guys, and I love all the support that you guys send me. So I am doing a giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. We're going big because it's Sag season. Go bigger, go bigger. I'll be giving away 3 prizes. So 3 people get to win. All you have to do is subscribe and comment. Let me know that you have subscribed, and follow me on Instagram. So like I said, that's at mimis.me on Instagram. I will post the link in the description below too. So I will be doing 3 prizes, and I will be announcing those later on. I will let you know what the prizes are. But yeah, let me know. Just comment below, subscribe, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, really quick before we start, I wanted to let you know that I am now offering a 2022 tarot reading. It is written out so that you can refer to it at any point throughout the year. And we're actually going to be going through all areas of life. So we'll be going through how you identify your value system, your communication styles, friendship, community, home, family life, relationships, work. We'll be going through it all. You'll be getting at least 12 channeled messages from me. And these are available until the end of January. And you can book that through my website, harveymountainalchemy.com. You'll have to book a time, but the time doesn't matter. I am going to be hopefully sending out the first rounds by December 25th. So let me know, or I guess book that if you're interested, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask me via email or through this comment section. All right, so let's get to the reading. All right, so pile number 1, you have got this kyanite crystal wand. Pile number 2, you have got this beautiful rose quartz wand. And pile number 3, you have got this selenite wand. All right, pile number 1, we have got your blue kyanite. Oh my gosh, Leo. We've got your blue kyanite here. Really good for the throat chakra, right? Just that blue in general is really good for this throat, really speaking up for yourself, which Gemini and Sag are both about communication and connection to larger groups, connection to other people, other perspectives. So if you were attracted to this blue kyanite, maybe there's something about communicating to others who aren't exactly like you, or maybe trying to communicate your different perspective. we have the Hierophant at the bottom, which is a Sagittarius card. And so Sagittarius is all about making connections to people that are foreign to you, or building communities made up of very different people coming from different walks of life. And so that's just what I'm feeling right now. We're going to be looking at what you have been manifesting, kind of what you're at the peak of right now, the pinnacle. We've got the Page of Cups. Okay, what else do we have? And the Three of Swords. Okay, so I sort of feel like maybe there's been a bit of a heartbreak. And a lot of it was a learning curve. I think there's a separation between you and another person. And this is likely to be affecting you, especially right now with Venus and Pluto and all of that intensity that's happening in our sensual lives, in our sensual selves, what we're feeling everywhere. So I think that there's been some sort of split, some sort of separation between you and somebody that you are really karmically attached to, or that you felt a really strong emotional bond to. And it was something that had helped you grow for so long, that you had evolved from, this sort of child version of yourself into who you are now, into who you have evolved into now. And so you've almost manifested this ending just because there's more for you to learn beyond this relationship, beyond this friendship or this romance, or even this relationship to your work, to your job. I am feeling another person, but it certainly doesn't have to be that way. So I think almost like you were holding a mirror up to yourself through this person, that you allowed yourself to bounce off of this person or job or, whatever this entity is. You allowed yourself to bounce off of it so that you could see yourself, so that you could self-reflect a little bit more. It was really an integrative conversation that you were able to have with this other person. And I think right now you're sort of at the peak of this emotional turmoil, or the peak of this just this separation and this pain, right? Sort of like heart growing pains. That's what I'm feeling. So I guess I'm going to look at what you need to release, especially regarding that. The Three of Cups. Wow. So releasing your old thoughts of who you thought your community was, of who you thought your people were. And look at that full moon in the background. Instead of mourning, instead of feeling this Three of Swords, of being so in your head about all of the emotion or feeling of it all, instead, just to go rejoice in the community that you do have. Sagittarian people tend to be able to make friends with a lot of different people of different walks of life. And so for you, it's time for you to say, okay, I have many different people in my life. Who am I willing to let go of? And who am I willing to put the work in to keep those people? And so what you're releasing is this old version of who you thought your friend group was, or who you thought your community was, and instead rejoicing in the people that you've chosen to keep in your life. Let's see what more you need to know. There we go. We've got the Chariot and the Six of Cups. Yeah, it really does feel like you're moving forward. The Six of Cups is all about nostalgia or reflection on an older version of self. And, six being somewhere in the middle there, it's all about kind of this push and pull between, well, I could stay back here or I could move forward. And so I almost think that there is this push and pull of you wanting to remain with this relationship, with this friendship, with this job, that did make you feel safe and made you feel like you were embarking on something new and fun and self-reflective. And instead, you need to be moving forward. And the Chariot is all about letting the circumstances take you for the ride, right? Letting yourself go on that ride, letting yourself explore that option. And the Chariot is number 7. So if there are any 7 numerology life paths out there, let me know, because this definitely feels like it's strong for the 7s. And so then the 6, I almost think, yes, you're 7. You are you're on a 7 journey, but there's something about this 6 that's really pulling you back. That's making you feel like I have to try harder to keep this friendship, this romantic relationship alive. There's something that I need to do if only I could do more. And I think that's where this is really trying to scream. It's okay to sever that tie. It's okay to let go of that version of who you needed in your life, of who you thought your community had to be, that Three of Cups. So I can see that it's quite painful, but I also can see that there's so much growth forward. And it's funny, I know this is a Cancer card, but look at all of these horses. That just screams Sagittarius to me. So all of this screams very Sagittarius to me, and Life Path 7. So there's like this holding on to what you thought your community was. And there's some self-reflection that needs to happen about why are you holding on to this entity? What about this entity really serves you now, other than just a history that you have? So yeah, that's pretty much what we've got there. What we're releasing is that Three of Cups. How we need to do it is through maybe letting go of this push and pull that the Six of Cups is giving you, that nostalgic feeling of, but look at all that we've been through together. Look at all of our history together. History is important. It is prevalent. It's really nice to know that you have somebody who's seen the many stages of you. But if they're only willing to see the old versions of you, they're not going to accept that you are growing and evolving as you are. The Page of Cups is at the beginning of their emotional growth, at their emotional development. They're just starting out their journey. And I think that you have evolved so much throughout this time that you've been in this job or relationship that you're a different person now. And maybe the other entity is not aligning with the values that you have right now, which is very Pluto Venus. So let's see one more message of what you need to know. I forgot to mention this is going to be a shorter reading, just to keep you all a little bit oh hello, never mind. The Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Wands, and the World. Wow. So I feel like there's a big weight that you're feeling that you have to carry. There's a strong burden, and there's such a long path. And I almost think that you have been carrying this weight with this other person, or you feel that maybe severing that tie is just another weight added. And that there will always be that sort of weight in the back of your mind if you do sever that tie. Just know that I also don't think it has to be completely permanent. I think for some of you, this is a permanent severing, a permanent separation from this job or from this person. But know that you can always look back, right? I think all experiences are temporary because you can always kind of revisit the experience. You can always revisit that conversation you had with that person, or that the history that you have with that person. And so instead of seeing it as such a weight of, wow, I really am just letting go of it all, means it didn't exist. That's not true. It did exist. And I think a lot of fortune, a lot of blessings, a lot of abundance will come to you. Just so you know, this is a Sag card. A lot of abundance will come to you. And also just so much more experience of the world. And the world is a Capricorn card. It's all about, all the wisdom that you've attained through the entire experience that you've had. So I think that there's a big learning experience that you're having here too, right? The Hierophant came up earlier. We had all of that Sag energy. So all of this learning is really helping you evolve from this Page of Cups into the King of Cups, into the Queen of Cups, that you are the master of your emotion. You are master of your self-reflection. You are open to the emotions that you're feeling in your body, whereas this Page of Cups is just beginning that journey. So be open to the fortune and be open to the world, right? This world is trying to offer you all of this blessing, all of this expansion and growth. All you have to do is let go of this weight. Let go of it in your mind, let go of it in your heart. So that is what we've got for you. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say. If this resonated, if it didn't, also let me know. I really just enjoy making those connections with you guys. So enjoy this full moon, enjoy that release, really let go of it. And I will see you next time. Bye. All right. Hello, pile 2. I have got your rose quartz wand here. I freaking love this piece of crystal. It was bought for me by a friend, which I really much appreciated. But isn't it gorgeous? So rose quartz is all about sending yourself that love, that acceptance, and also about opening your own heart to other people's love and acceptance. So I almost think of it as a great crystal when you are feeling really self-critical, really self-judgmental, because it opens your heart to the possibility that maybe you aren't all of those negative things that your like intrusive self tells you that you are. So let's see what it is, what stage you're at, where you are peaking or at the pinnacle of for this full moon in Gemini. There we go. The Nine of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and Judgment. Wow. So the Nine of Swords immediately is that intrusive thinking, right? The Nine of Swords is that nightmare card where we allow our subconscious fears and nightmares to control us in a way and to control our actions. We're letting our thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, control our actions. Now, Gemini is a very thought-provoking sign. It is all about mentality and thinking and collecting information, collecting data, really, and communication, obviously, as we all know. Gemini is all about that chatterbox, right? That collecting information and then sharing it with other people, like a local community. And then you've got this King of Pentacles. So I almost think that there are these intrusive thoughts about how valuable you think you are or how not valuable you think you are. Either way, it is very much about your value, which is sort of what I was talking about with this rose quartz. So speaking to yourself kindly is very important. At the same time though, and I think there's a huge misconception about kind of self-reflection and doing the work, that you have to be positive all of the time and every revelation has to be a good one and a blessing and a fortune, which is it's so nice. It's so nice to feel those positive revelations. We want to have those all the time, but it's also really important to do that like harder, uglier work, right? Being human can be quite ugly. We are here to learn some uglier lessons. And so I think you have a very active mind when it comes to those ugly thoughts. And I think some of them are important to look into, and some of them are purely just you and your negative self-talk. So releasing those that just tell you that you're unworthy, and instead looking into why you tell yourself that you're unworthy, where that came from. And that's where I think this Judgment card comes from. Judgment is all about being completely honest with the self, free of judgment. Telling yourself, you know, that was a really petty thing of me to do. And instead of saying like, God, I'm so petty, I'm so crappy, like how could I be this kind of horrible person? Instead just saying, okay, so I have some tendencies to be petty. Where do those come from? How can I recognize those triggers and how can I move through it? And it's so much easier said than done. Listen, I'm human. Like we all struggle with our flaws and making sure that we are aware of our flaws. But I think this Gemini full moon is all about where in your mental space can you hold space for constructive criticism, and where can you release some of those intrusive thoughts that just aren't going to be helpful, right? End the conversation at, oh, that was petty, right? Instead of going, oh, that was petty, I must be the worst person alive. You're not. You're not the worst person alive. If you're petty sometimes, you are human. And being able to recognize that you have petty tendencies and moving through them, maybe sending an apology where you need to, and then moving on, right? Accepting that you have flaws, constantly working on them, allowing yourself to recognize them and allowing them to exist, but then also allowing yourself to work on it without telling yourself that you're a bad person. I think that's what's really coming up for you in this full moon. And that's really high. That's really high stakes. It's emotional, but it's also very mental. And so, you know, trying to rationalize those emotions can be really tough, especially if you've been conditioned to feel and to think that way. So let's look at what we are releasing this full moon, or what we are working on releasing, starting this full moon up to the new moon in Capricorn. My apologies. So yeah, what we are releasing from this full moon until the new moon in Capricorn. We've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the Two of Pentacles. I mean, that is just right at the source. Looking at the source of these value conversations that you have with yourself. Capricorn especially, I know we're looking at the full moon in Gemini, but this is sort of moving into the new moon in Capricorn as well. So over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're kind of focusing on, where do I feel not valuable? Where do I feel undervalued and underappreciated? And instead of going on to that long conversation, like I was saying, just looking at the root, just looking at that root sentence that you ask yourself or tell yourself, and then moving on from there. So what you are releasing are these new, I guess these new ideas. I would say maybe starting a new project isn't the best idea during this time. I think you kind of need to retreat within, and I think that's something that a lot of us are going to have to do for this winter time. There's a huge call to retreat within and to take it slowly this winter time. I don't think that's going to be the case for everybody, but I do think for you it is time to release the notion that you need to be starting something new right now. I think it's time to take it slow. And this Two of Pentacles, I think maybe there is some financial anxiety, some value anxiety, worries about whether or not you are contributing enough. Okay, you're contributing what you can, and as long as you're communicating clearly with others that you're doing what you can, hopefully those other people will understand, especially understand where you're coming from. All right, let's see what other messages you need to hear. I need one more. There we go. So the Five of Inspiration, so the Five of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So what more you need to hear is all about this shift that is happening. It's almost a rite of passage. The Six of Swords is a rite of passage card. It's very ritualistic. It's saying that you have ended a certain phase and you are commencing a new one. It's almost like an initiation, a very ritualistic initiation. And so there is a shift that's happening when it comes to your emotions, your intuition, your creativity, especially creativity, because we've got Wands and Cups, which are both sort of facets of it, that inspiration creativity versus that feeling creativity. And so I think there's a big shift that's happening for you, and all you need to do is allow yourself to be initiated, allow yourself to be commenced. I don't think you have to do anything. I think the shift is happening for you, and I think this winter time, if you're on the Northern Hemisphere, is all about letting yourself just be within you, slowing down. I think what's going to be important for you is asking yourself, what is the actual rush right now? Why are you rushing into this? If you're in a business, why do you feel like you have to make all of your sales now? Why do you think you have to go viral now? Or in a relationship, why do you think you have to get married now, right? So really asking yourself, what is the rush here? Am I just conditioned to feel like I have to be doing everything super quickly? Or can I just sit within and allow myself to enjoy where I am right now? The shift is already happening for you. These fives are all about changes, sudden changes, gradual changes, and the Six of Swords is like allowing these shifts to happen is your rite of passage. Allowing the changes in your life to happen, the Venus-Pluto changes, right? Your core values shifting, your love life changing, your view on finances changing. That is all a rite of passage for you to commence this new phase in your life, this new journey that you are starting. All right, I hope that was helpful for you. I love to hear from you, so let me know what resonated or what didn't. Yeah, just let me know. I really love to hear from you guys. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. I have got your selenite wand here. For those of you that don't know, selenite is really good for cleansing and clearing. I use it to cleanse myself after some sessions or, whenever I'm feeling kind of gloopy, in case that's a sentiment anybody else relates to. So yes, selenite is a really good clearing, cleansing crystal. So maybe this is something you need, especially during the eclipse season where we all are really cleansing, really purging, releasing what we no longer need and accepting the new. So I'm going to ask what you're currently experiencing the peak of or the pinnacle of, because the full moon is like this full manifestation of this element in your life. So let's see, there's one. Ooh. There's 2. All right, that's pretty much it. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and we've got the 4 of Swords in this Muse Tarot. So the Wheel of Fortune is all about the cycles and phases of life, of the seasons, right? Watching the seasons change, watching your life evolve into what it naturally kind of sits into. And then the 4 of Swords is all about rest and restoration and honestly cleansing. Look at her taking this really cleansing, loving bath. In these rose petals too. It's so Venusian to me, which we have that Venus-Pluto going on. And then the wheel is ruled by Sagittarius. It's also about luck and blessings. So I almost feel like you are at this phase now where doing nothing seems to be the most abundant thing for you. That things have been finding you, or not even if things haven't been finding you, fulfillment has been finding you by just sitting back, by sitting down, letting yourself rest, almost letting yourself heal. I feel like there's still very heavy Scorpio season things that are coming with you during this time. And so maybe you have some heavy Scorpio placements, or maybe you have heavy Capricorn placements. So this Pluto-Venus conjunction is happening on some of your really integral planetary bodies. So I think that what you are at the pinnacle of is letting yourself rest and heal, and letting yourself explore the success, fulfillment, abundance that you get just by sitting back, just by experiencing the world as it is, rather than kind of charging forward all of the time in a very Capricorn fashion. I'm feeling Capricorn right now. So I want to see what more we need to know about this kind of pinnacle, because I feel like there's a little bit more. There we go. Got the 6 of Pentacles and we've got Strength. So this could definitely be work related, but it also could be very personal, right? Personal matters, your own inner strength, where you're finding yourself to be really willful or bold or courageous. Maybe this resting period was really bold and really courageous for you. Yeah, this exchange, what you're offering others, I feel like it's really important for you to do this resting, because I think you are someone who is so willing to do things for others and so willing to do it without an exchange. I think you're being called to ask for reciprocation in your relationships or in your friendships, at work even. Ask for that raise, demand a better bonus at your job, right? Really tell yourself that you deserve this abundance. The Wheel of Fortune is all about fortune and blessings. So tell yourself that you are worth it because you put out a lot and you deserve that reciprocation to also becoming at you as well. So let's see what you are releasing. So this sort of goes into the new moon in Capricorn. So it's kind of like the next 2 to 3 weeks. Oh gosh, okay, hello. What you are releasing. The Ace of Swords and the 7 of Wands. This instantly tells me that there's some defensive nature. Almost maybe that other people are judging you for taking this restful period, or maybe you're being a little judgmental of yourself or of others. Not to call you out, but that's just what I'm feeling. I also really like this, that usually the 7 of Wands is like this really defensive, and like there are a lot of barriers and boundaries and blockades, but this like reindeer here is just waving like, hey, like it's just me, please don't attack, I'm still a good person. So I think maybe this is really, I don't know, really important. I feel like you have, or maybe you've been wanting to take that restful period that the 4 of Swords is talking about, and you're feeling judgment from others, or maybe you're feeling your own inner judgment from your own like inner capitalism conditioning, you know, where you have to be doing all of this stuff. So let yourself be kind to you and kind to others. See other people's judgment as just their own projections, or possibly even envy from other people of like, you know, everybody wishes they could just take like a week off for no reason. And so then to see somebody who's really allowing themselves to take care of them and to rest and to heal, that can stir up some anger in other people because they're not giving themselves that time, or giving themselves that respect, or honoring their bodies in that way. So I think you need to release that it is your responsibility for how other people react to your actions or to your values. As long as you are not doing harm to anybody else, you have to do what is right for you. I want to see how best to release this because it feels somewhat vague still, but it does feel like it is very much in your mind, right? This Ace of Swords is very much like it's all initiating in your mind. Those insecurities or projections or triggers, those are kind of the root of what you need to be releasing. Well, let's see the best way for you to release those. We've got 10 of Wands and we've got Death. Wow. I don't usually get this for like these kinds of cards, but I do feel like maybe a really good hike, right? Like really a good sweat, releasing those toxins and imagining that that sweat is like these ideas, these thoughts, those judgments, those projections, really sweating it out. Getting yourself really cleansed, because Death is ruled by Scorpio, which is all about getting to the root of it, and then like it's like a surgeon of a nuclear atom. That's how I feel about it, that they really get to the center of it and then they blow it up from within. So letting yourself like really sweat those things out, that's what I'm really feeling. I think you feel like it's your burden to carry, your responsibility. And it's interesting because another one of these piles also got the Wheel and the 10 of Wands. So it feels like only abundance can come if you do all of the work. All of that success will only come if you put in as much of your time as you can. And so to remind yourself, what is the rush of all of that? To let yourself be abundant by honoring and respecting your body's needs and your mind's needs, really caring for yourself in that way. So I think maybe some like getting yourself a good reading or doing a reading for yourself, or, you know, having that extra therapy session or something, you know, really taking care of your mind and body, using this time to sit in yourself, in your soul, in your body, and just seeing how that feels for a little bit. What really is the worst that could happen from letting yourself have some time off? Really let yourself relax during this time. Gemini and Sag both have this tendency to really let their minds wander and like collect all the information or think really big, and it can be kind of overwhelming. And so if you do have those mutable signs, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, if you have those 4 signs in your chart kind of prevalent, this is probably affecting you quite a bit. And also fixed signs. Really the only ones that are safe right now are the cardinals. So not that you're not safe, it's just a lot for everybody else. So yeah, that overwhelm, feeling that overwhelm could really be possible right now. So take that bath, take that hike, let yourself release the toxins, whatever way feels best for you. Let me know how this felt for you, what resonated, what didn't. I really love to hear from you guys. I hope you guys are doing really well. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. I will see you next time. Bye.